The city glittered. It was a cold, hard shine, like diamonds scattered on black velvet. Tonight, one diamond would be plucked. The target was the Atherton Museum. Its new exhibit held the Serpent's Eye, a necklace of infamous legend. Stories clung to it. Curses, betrayals, death. Perfect. The security was state-of-the-art. Lasers crisscrossed unseen. Pressure plates waited silently. Guards patrolled with bored, heavy steps. They thought it was impenetrable. They were always wrong about that. Someone always found a way. The air crackled with unspoken bets. Who would dare? Who had the nerve? The police were on high alert. They expected something. They always did when treasures like this arrived. Their preparations were a show, a pageant of flashing lights and stern faces. It meant little. The real game was played in shadows, in whispers, in carefully laid plans. This heist was not about brute force. It was about finesse, a dance with technology and human error. The prize was not just the necklace, it was the thrill, the sheer audacity of it all. The news channels buzzed. Experts debated security measures. They showed blueprints. They interviewed former thieves, now consultants. Each one offered a grave opinion. Each one secretly wished they were part of it. The Serpent's Eye was more than jewels. It was a symbol, a challenge whispered to the underworld, a siren song for the ambitious, for the desperate, for those who walked the razor's edge. Tonight, that song would be answered. The stage was set. The curtains were about to rise on a very dangerous play. The night itself felt complicit. Clouds hid the moon. The wind carried secrets through the empty streets. A hush fell over the museum district. Only the distant wail of a siren broke the silence. A false alarm, perhaps, or a prelude. The building stood like a fortress. Cold stone, dark windows. It guarded its treasure jealously. But fortresses were made to be breached, walls were made to be scaled, and secrets were made to be stolen. The clock ticked. Each second was a step closer to the inevitable confrontation. Xander watched from across the street. He leaned against a grimy wall, unseen, unremarkable. Just another shadow in a city full of them. His eyes, however, missed nothing. They scanned the museum's facade. They noted the patrol patterns, the blind spots, the subtle shift of a guard's weight. He wasn't just looking, he was absorbing, deconstructing. He had a mind like a steel trap. He remembered every detail, every weakness. His past was a tapestry of such nights, of plans executed with cold precision. He wasn't a good man. He knew that. Good men didn't dream of theft. They didn't thrive in the undercurrent of deceit. But Xander wasn't entirely bad either. There was a code, a twisted sort of honor he clung to. He chose his targets carefully. He preferred to outthink, not outfight. Violence was messy, unpredictable, a tool of last resort. He had a reputation, whispered in hushed tones. Some called him a ghost, others a puppet master. He preferred to think of himself as an artist. His medium was risk. His masterpiece was the perfect crime. His team was assembled, each member chosen for a specific skill. There was Lena, the tech expert. Her fingers danced over keyboards like a concert pianist. There was Marcus, the muscle, quiet, intimidating, good with locks and heavy things. And there was Anya, the inside woman, a disgruntled museum employee, eager for a payday, eager for revenge against a system she felt had wronged her. Xander trusted none of them completely. Trust was a luxury, a vulnerability he couldn't afford. He watched them as closely as he watched the museum. Tonight, Xander felt the familiar hum, the low thrum of adrenaline. It was a dangerous addiction. He knew the risks. The years in prison if caught, the betrayal that always lurked. Yet he couldn't resist. The challenge was too alluring. The Serpent's Eye wasn't just about money, it was about proving he could still do it, that he was still the best, that he could orchestrate chaos and walk away clean. His face was a mask of calm, but beneath it, his mind raced, calculating, anticipating, preparing for every eventuality, or so he thought. The team gathered in a derelict warehouse. The air was thick with dust and tension. Xander laid out the blueprints, not the museum's official ones. Those were decoys. These were the real plans, acquired through less conventional means. Lena, the primary grid goes down at 217, Xander stated. His voice was low, even. Marcus, Sector C service tunnel. Anya, you disable the internal CCTVs from your station, precisely at 2:15. He looked at each of them, his gaze lingering, searching for any flicker of doubt, any hint of a lie. Lena nodded. Her expression was focused. The bypass codes for the vault's magnetic locks are tricky. They change every 60 seconds. Timing is critical. Marcus grunted his understanding. He rarely spoke. Anya fidgeted with a loose thread on her sweater. The new guard in the control room, Henderson, he's jumpy, she said. Her voice was a little too high. He might react unpredictably if the system flags anything unusual before I can act. Xander noted her nervousness. Was it fear or something else? He filed it away. Another variable in a complex equation. Stick to the plan, Xander said. His tone was a quiet warning. No deviations, no heroics. We are a machine. Each part has its function. If one part fails, the machine breaks. He tapped the blueprint over the vault. The serpent's eye is here. Infrared sensors, weight triggers, the works. Lena, your EMP device must be precise. He felt the undercurrents in the room, the unspoken ambitions, the greed. Each one of them had their own reasons, their own desires. He knew it. He counted on it. And he guarded against it. Distrust was a tool. Xander used it carefully. He gave each member just enough information. No one knew the entire picture except him. It was safer that way. He saw the way Marcus sometimes looked at Lena, the way Anya avoided eye contact with everyone, small things. But they painted a picture of fragile alliances. He knew one of them might break, might betray the others for a larger share, or to save their own skin. It was the nature of their world. He was prepared for it. He always had a contingency, or two. The heist began like clockwork. Lena disabled the external grid. Marcus slipped into the service tunnel. Anya, from her security desk, fed looped footage to the main monitors. Xander was a ghost in the system, guiding them, watching. The museum was a sleeping giant, unaware of the figures moving through its veins. They reached the vault. The air was cold. The silence was heavy. Lena worked on the magnetic locks, sweat beaded on her forehead. The codes changed. She cursed softly. Then, success. The heavy door hissed open. There it was, the serpent's eye, gleaming, malevolent. Marcus moved to retrieve it. Suddenly, alarms shrieked. Red lights bathed the vault. What the hell? Lena gasped. Anya's voice came over the comms, panicked. It wasn't me. Henderson, he saw something. He triggered a silent alarm before I could stop him. Then a new voice. Cold, familiar to Xander. Drop it, Xander, all of you. It was Marcus. He held a gun, not on some unseen guard, but on Lena. Sorry, old man. My new partners offer a better deal. The betrayal stung, but Xander's face remained impassive. He had expected a snake, just not this one. Predictable, Marcus, Xander said softly. Always the brute force. Lena looked terrified. Anya was silent on the comms, probably already gone. Or caught. Marcus sneered. The necklace, Xander, and your escape route. Xander slowly raised his hands. The escape route is compromised, obviously. Thanks to you. He paused. But there's always another way out. As Marcus advanced, Xander made a subtle gesture, a silent command. The floor beneath Marcus gave way. A trap door. He had planned for a betrayal, just not Marcus specifically. Marcus plunged into darkness. A satisfying thud echoed. Lena stared, wide-eyed. You knew? Xander picked up the serpent's eye. It felt cold in his hand. I suspected someone would crack. Marcus was just the loudest. He smiled faintly. A chilling sight. Anya was the real variable. Seems she got spooked. He didn't mention the small device he'd used to remotely trigger the trapdoor, or the fact that the alarms were his doing, set off to flush out the traitor. He had played them all. The police sirens grew closer. Time to go, Lena, unless you prefer prison. He vanished into a hidden passage, leaving Lena, the necklace, and a web of unanswered questions behind. For now.